Thousands of home networks run two instances of the same ad blocking software, kept synchronized by third-party tools that were never built by the developers of the software itself. Every major version upgrade risks breaking that synchronization entirely. When version 5 moved to version 6, the most popular sync tool was discontinued overnight, and the community scrambled to build a replacement. Users accepted this as normal because every tutorial and every video guide pointed them toward the same solution. What none of those guides mentioned is that a different platform released native clustering in November 2025. Add a second node, join the cluster, everything synchronizes automatically from that point forward. 3 platforms solving network-wide ad blocking, where the one with the most complete feature set has the smallest community because tutorial creators cannot monetize it with hardware affiliate links. Pi-hole launched in 2015 and became synonymous with network-wide ad blocking almost immediately. The name itself references the single-board computer it was originally designed to run on, creating an association so strong that recommending Pi-hole effectively means recommending the hardware alongside it. 48,000 GitHub stars. A subreddit with over 260,000 members. Thousands of installation tutorials across every platform. For someone who has never self-hosted anything before, the path from curiosity to working ad blocker is shorter here than anywhere else in the category. The platform operates as a caching forwarder with a block list database sitting between every device on the network and the upstream servers handling actual resolution. Queries matching blocked domains return empty responses. Everything else passes through to whatever upstream the user has configured. The dashboard displays which devices are making requests, which domains are being blocked, and how much traffic the block lists are catching across the entire network. For the majority of home users, that is exactly enough. But the honest limitation sits underneath the simplicity. Encrypted queries require installing separate software alongside it. Recursive resolution, where the server queries root name servers directly, rather than trusting a third party, upstream requires yet another add-on running as a companion service. Advanced record types beyond basic entries are not supported. And redundancy, the problem that matters most when the entire network depends on a single point of failure, requires community-built tools that the core project does not maintain, does not officially support, and cannot guarantee will survive the next major version change. For first-time self-hosters, where the largest community, the most tutorials, and the simplest path to blocking ads across every device on the network outweigh the need for advanced features, accepting that the platform is an ad blocker with basic caching rather than a full server, and that high availability depends on tooling outside the project's control. AdGuard Home arrived in 2018 from a company that had been building commercial ad blocking products since 2009. The positioning was deliberate. Everything the original required add-ons for, this shipped built-in from day one. Encrypted queries over multiple modern protocols, handled natively without installing companion services. Parental controls with safe search enforcement across major search engines, configurable per device. A web interface designed with the kind of visual polish that suggested a product team rather than a community project. The family safety features represent genuine differentiation rather than marketing packaging, restricting specific devices to filtered results, blocking adult content categories, enforcing safe search, all configurable through the interface without editing configuration files or writing custom blocklist rules. For households where a non-technical family member needs to occasionally whitelist a domain or check what the children's devices have been requesting, the interface makes that possible without reading documentation or editing files that one wrong character could break. And here is the tension that an honest comparison has to surface. Despite being backed by a commercial company with established products and revenue, the platform still has no native clustering or automatic synchronization between instances. Running 2 nodes for redundancy means manually copying configuration between them or writing custom scripts. Configuration drift accumulates over time as changes made to one instance are forgotten on the other. The same high availability problem that affects the original affects this platform identically, except without even the community-built sync tools that exist for the competitor. For families and less technical users where parental controls, built-in encrypted queries, and a polished interface matter more than advanced features, accepting that redundancy remains a manual process and that the platform forwards queries to third-party upstream servers rather than resolving them independently. Technitium launched in 2017, built by a single developer who approached the problem from the opposite direction. Rather than starting with ad blocking and adding basic caching, the foundation is a complete authoritative and recursive server that happens to also block ads. The difference is not cosmetic. Authoritative means hosting domain zones with every record type, wildcard entries, zone delegation, and catalog zone provisioning to secondary nodes. Recursive means querying root name servers directly without forwarding anything to a third-party upstream, meaning no external provider sees the query traffic. Encrypted queries over multiple protocols built in natively. Signing and validation for security extensions using multiple algorithms. Split horizon responses serving different answers to internal and external clients. Conditional forwarding routing specific domains to specific upstream servers. A plugin framework allowing custom logic to be applied to queries as they pass through. Every feature shipping at zero cost under an open source license with no paid tier, no enterprise edition, and no features gated behind a subscription. The clustering released in version 14 operates at the infrastructure level rather than as an afterthought. A primary node and multiple secondary nodes managed from a single web console. Changes propagate automatically. Block lists, zones, applications, settings, administration, security keys all synchronize without intervention. Each node maintains independent cache and logs. If the primary fails, a secondary can be promoted to take over. No third-party tooling, no scheduled tasks, no configuration drift accumulating between updates. But the discovery gap defines the platform more than any technical limitation. 4,500 GitHub stars against 48,000 for the most established competitor. A subreddit that exists but barely registers against 250,000 members elsewhere. Virtually no presence in recommendation lists, because those lists monetize through hardware affiliate links that only apply when the recommendation involves purchasing a specific single board computer. Tutorial creators covering migration away from the established platform toward this one earn nothing from the video. The result is a platform where users running two instances of competing software with sync tools that break on updates remain unaware that native clustering has existed since November 2025. Not because the feature is obscure, but because the people who would tell them about it have no financial incentive to do so. Pi-hole for anyone, we're the largest community in self-hosted ad blocking, the most extensive tutorial ecosystem, and the simplest path from installation to working network-wide filtering represent value that advanced features cannot replace, where basic caching and block list management are sufficient for the household's needs. Accepting that encrypted queries and recursive resolution both require companion software the project does not maintain, and that high availability depends on community-built sync tools vulnerable to breaking with every major version upgrade. AdGuard Home for families, where built-in parental controls, per-device safe search enforcement, and a polished interface designed for non-technical household members to manage represent genuine differentiation, where encrypted queries ship natively without add-ons, accepting that redundancy remains entirely manual with no synchronization tooling from the project or the community, and that the platform forwards all queries to third-party upstream servers rather than resolving them independently. Technitium, for anyone currently running multiple instances of either competitor synchronized by third-party tools or manual configuration copying, where native clustering eliminating sync maintenance entirely represents the most practical improvement available, where authoritative zones, recursive resolution, security extension signing, and split horizon responses unlock capabilities neither competitor offers at any configuration level, and where the question the platform forces is not whether its feature set justifies the steeper learning curve, but whether the sync tools users are maintaining today were ever necessary once they learned that the alternative existed. Every choice is a trade-off. At least now you know what you're trading.